Facebook and Zoom. Now, welcome everyone. I'm Devo from the Caldwell YMCA, and we will probably mute you on Zoom so that you aren't talking to me while I'm instructing. Anyway, I'm happy that you're all here with me today. It is, I was just talking to Angela, this will be our last live Zoom class. Some of the classes will stay online and some will transition to the Y. I said I could teach with a mask on, so I will do yoga and Pilates at the Y starting next week. And some other classes will take a little bit of time to get back into the face-to-face teaching at the Y. So just keep checking the YMCA websites and they will give you lots of directions about how to go about getting the app to make reservations for the classes, because class sizes will be limited for social distancing, of course. Anyways, we get started with our last little 30-minute lunch break. Let's just kind of transition from wherever you are into your time on the mat. So we just take a moment, breathe. I've got my right leg in front, and I'm going to start just slowly circling to the right. I'm just going to relax the shoulders, relax the facial muscles. And we know that circling is a nice way to get the spine kind of warmed up. And I know some of you may already have been out and about, digging in the garden and running to the store and doing lots of different things, but it's still good to kind of get yourself sort of focused here on your mat, no matter what you're doing. So we're circling, we're warming, we're helping our digestive system. And this can be as big or as small as you want. I'm keeping my sitting bones connected to the earth. I'm breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth. And then slowly, slowly making these circles just a little bit smaller. And then sweeping the fingertips up to the sky to lengthen the spine. We'll just drop off to the right side to stretch open the left side of the body. So see if you can't root down with your left sitting bone and reach out. For the last couple of months, we've been exploring yoga and Pilates moves here on the mat in a little fusion. I probably tend to have done more Pilates than yoga. It's a good way to get them together. We're going to twist. I'm sorry, my director is saying he can't hear me. Am I not on? Well, is my headphone on? Okay. Well, don't need this then. Can you still hear me? Sorry, lost my sound. We're going to come back to your center and go ahead and balance on your sitting bones. So if I lift one leg and then the other, we call this a tabletop position. Can you let go in your tabletop position? Also Navasana, boat pose. Just breathe in, breathe out. And then I'm going to switch. Sorry, you couldn't hear me before. We're going to circle in the opposite direction. Technical stuff. It's much nicer to teach face-to-face, trust me. So we're doing this for our digestive system. We're doing this to warm the spine. We're doing this to find a little bit more mobility in our bodies. As we age, you know, I think that word age, sometimes we get less flexible, our range of motion decreases, so we have to keep moving no matter what. So start to make your circles a little bit smaller, and we're back to your center. And again, we're going to reach the fingertips overhead. So sweep them up and stretch out of the sides of the body this time. And then we're going to bend to the left side. So I'm going to bring my left hand down and reach over with my right. keeping the sitting bones pressed down into the floor. It's going to help stretch open that side of the body a little bit more. And your arm can be straight, it could be bent, wherever it feels appropriate for you. And then as I come back up, I'm going to take a little twist. So keep the spine nice and long. Inhale, exhale. In some ways, that's where Pilates and yoga differ. The breathing techniques come all the way back to the front. I know you're thinking, well, it's very similar. It is similar. We're going to come back this time and do the same tabletop, except this time we're going to keep our feet on the floor. So fingertips are facing your bum. And as you lift up, see if you can't flatten yourself out, press down, your fingertips are facing your feet, and your head is looking up to the sky. Your arms are straight. And then slowly release your hips down, and we're just going to kind of drop them side to side. So normally in yoga, when you exhale, it's usually done on a twist, and you inhale back to the center. And a lot of times in Pilates, it's the opposite. As you open your chest and you twist side to side, because you're drawing up from the pelvic floor when you're back to your center, going, pulling the belly button in. Now we're going to turn over onto your hands and knees. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Fingers nice and wide. My toes are facing the back of the mat. And I'm going to push the floor away and round my spine into that cat pose. So you're going to tuck your chin and really pull the belly button up. As I inhale into cow, I'm going to tuck my toes and lift my chest and my tail. Really articulating that spine. Try that again. Flatten the toes, rounding to cat. Exhaling. And inhale. So there are just little subtle differences between the Pilates and the yoga. Exhale. And this time as you inhale into cow, stay here. So I have this nice little natural curve in my spine. I'm going to take my handprint forward and begin to lift the knees off the ground. Now I'm going to stretch out my arms, push my hips up and back, and then start to straighten my legs a little bit. And you're welcome to pedal out your heels. I like to call this defrosting your dog. Downward facing dog. So really push the top of the thighs back, and as you inhale, you're going to come out to plank. So I feel like I'm using more yoga-ish breath today. I'd love for you to drop your heels to the right and feel a nice twist. If this gets to be too much, you can always drop a knee. Come back to your center and drop your heels to the other side, keeping my hands flat down on the floor. Make sure it's not just the heel of the hand, but the whole hand. Come back to your center. Try that again. Drop your heels to the right and extend your spine. Crown of the head is reaching forward, heels back. Come back to your center and drop your heels to the left side. Draw the navel in towards the spine, and we're going to lift the hips back to downward facing dog. As the right leg lifts to the sky, we're going to exhale, bend the knee, and draw it in towards the nose, bringing the shoulders over the wrists, squeezing the belly in. Do that again. Inhale, take the right toe up, and then exhale, draw forward. Inhale, take it up. And this time as you exhale, go ahead and set your right knee down underneath your right hip. So you don't want the knee in front of your hip or behind your hip. You want your thigh sort of perpendicular to the ground. As we move into a spinal balance, the left leg is going to reach back and the right arm is going to reach forward. So energetically reaching forward with your fingers and back with your heels. Start to move the arm and the leg away from the center line of the body. You can take it part way or all the way into awkward airplane. And then inhale, line it back up again. Exhale. Move the arm and the leg away from the center line. Inhale, trying to keep the hips balanced, squared. One more time, open it up to the side. So you're really engaging those deep internal muscles, your transverse abdominal muscles. As you bend your back knee, see if you can take your hand back around and grab your foot, your ankle, your toes, and push your foot into your hands and arc your spine in this little cat bow, lifting your heart, and then slowly release. Tuck your right toes. Extend the left leg up to the sky now, everything on the opposite side. So exhale, shift your weight forward, shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, take it back up. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, lift your leg up. And this time as you exhale, go ahead and set the left knee down and extend your right leg back. Left arm reaches forward. Nice spinal balance. Nice and strong. Stay lifted through the torso. And then exhale, move the arm and the leg away from the center line of the body, trying to keep them at the same height. Inhale, reach forward with your fingers and back with your heel. Try it again. Exhaling. Inhaling. One more time. Exhale. And inhale. So as we bend the back knee, you'll take your left hand and reach around to your right toes. Pushing again. Kind of arcing your spine if you're able. And if you're not, don't worry about it. I know some people that start out down here like this, and slowly over time, they'll start pushing their knee up. As you release your hand, tuck your left toe and push your right leg up to the sky. Can you bend the knee and spin the hip open a little bit? Stacking the right hip on top of your left. Remember to drop the left shoulder down to square the shoulders. And then as you exhale, step your right foot up by your right thumb. So you're in a raised runner's lunge. Go ahead and drop the back knee down and inhale, look forward. Keep this right knee directly over the ankle and then lift back up. Exhaling, pulling the belly button in. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades onto the back. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, drop it down. Now this time we're going to change it. As you exhale into that raised runner's lunge, you can walk your hands up or sweep them overhead into a nice high lunge. We're kind of strengthening those legs. Keep my shirt tucked in here. Reach it up, arc your spine, straighten out your left leg, keep your right knee over your ankle, and then as you exhale and lower down, we're going to transition into that Ardha Hanumasana, that half splits pose. Your hands can be back here to straighten your spine, or forward, whatever feels the best to help stretch the back of the leg. Come forward, nice big inhale, and then exhale back again. We're going to turn the toes off to the right side of your mat so that you're opening that pathway to the sciatic nerve. And then as you come forward, we're going to bring the hands to the inside. So yes, we're going to let the hip open a little bit. So you might let your knee open up. You might stay with your hands on the ground. You might come down onto your forearms like lizard, or even walk your foot off the side just a little bit. Find a place that's going to help you open up this hip. That's what we're kind of focused on today a little bit more. Hips. I was going to take you very restful and relaxing for your last class here with me, and I thought, nah. How about if you roll forward on your left knee? I have these little things on my tights that make this uncomfortable. Reach back and you can stretch your quadriceps a little bit more. Open your chest. And if that's not accessible, just do the best you can. As you come back, realign your feet, lift back up and back into your downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide, push the sitting bones up and back. And this time as you float out to plank pose, upward push-up position, you can lower to your knees and take a couple of little tricep push-ups. Remember, you stay straight, your hips push forward, your chest is forward, your belly button draws in, your elbows come back, and then lower all the way down, flatten your toes, shoulders back, take a little cobra, exhale, push back and back into your downward facing dog. This time the left leg is going to extend to the sky, bend the knee and spin the hip open. Right heel may get down to the ground. Square the shoulders and then step the left foot up by the left thumb. Here you're back in that raised runner's lunge again. We're going to drop the back knee down, inhale forward. Exhale, lift it up, pull the belly button in and inhale. I'm trying to flatten out my back. Exhale, squeeze up and in. And inhale, fill the lungs. Exhale, stay here. Remember, you can walk your hands up to your thigh or reach them overhead. Straighten out your right leg. Lift the heart up. Take a deep breath. And then our half splits pose. So press back. Stretch out that leg. And then move forward. Nice big breath. And press back. And this time, turn your toe off to the left side. You'll notice that right away. And if you've had issues with sciatica, you'll feel it. Trust me. This time, as you come forward, here's your opportunity to open up the hip again. So you might take that opportunity to do lizard or walk your foot off the side. Or just stay up on your hands and just let your hip open out if that feels really good for you. We want to create a little bit more space, a little bit more flexibility. And then here's that stretching of the quad. So if you pick up your back toe, you can reach around, you grab your ankle, your heel, your toes. Maybe lean back a little further. If this is a piece of cake for you, take it a little bit deeper. And then slowly lift up and back into your downward facing dog. Rippling out to plank pose again. Let's do 5 more push-ups, either on your toes or on your knees. Bending the elbows, keep the belly drawn in. And breathe. And lower all the way down. We're going to take the legs wide as your mat. Take your arms like cactus off the sides of your mat. Little parachute man. So as we inhale, we're going to lift the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, and lift the legs if you don't have any issues in your low back. And then slowly exhale. This will really help to strengthen your back. Inhale, lift, elongate your spine and your neck. Exhale, lower. Picking that marble up with your belly button as you exhale. Inhale, lift, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift. Bring your arms underneath and your legs lined up with your hips in a Sphinx pose. Breathe here. We're going to tuck the toes and lift up into our little hover. We love this. As you hover your right toes off the mat, that's just a little bit more of a challenge. Try the left toes. You don't have to do this. How about an arm? Now this is tough because I always want to roll over to one side. Try to reach it out without rolling over. Just try it. And then lower back down. The fun one is picking up the right leg and the left arm at the same time. That is really tough for your transverse abdominal muscles. And that's those muscles that wrap all the way around you like a girdle. Those are the deep ones. Hold your organs in. So let's try. Come on up. So here we go. Right leg back, left arm forward, hovering. Take a breath and try the other side. Left leg, right arm. I know, it's tough. It's tough for me too. And then slowly, lower back to your Sphinx. You guys are awesome. Come all the way up. Take a little child's pose or a puppy pose. You can drop your forearms down in your forehead and push your hips back and get a really nice stretch through your shoulders. As you come back out, just roll over to your side, right here. And I'm going to bring my knees to the front. And the elbow is not directly under my shoulder. It's out just a little bit to provide a little bit more stability here. I'm going to take the top leg and let it hover over the mat. The left arm is going to be down here to help stabilize you. As you flex your foot, a little kick forward and a little point back. What we don't want to do is this. Exhale, bending in and flopping your torso front to back. Just hold your torso steady and flex forward, point back. Flex forward, point back. I know, it's hard. Flex forward, point back. Flex forward, point back. Last one, flex. And as you point, let's circle this forward. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to the back for 8, 7, I feel it too, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your knees together. We're going to come up in the middle into a little butterfly pose. Woo, your hips like that. Just take a breath and then over to the other side. So here we go. Same thing. Bring your elbow out just a tad. Take your top leg and straighten it out. The bottom one's bent for a little bit more support. My hand is here for support. Flex forward, point back. So don't move anything in your torso. Exhale, inhale. This is tough. And some of us might be just going part way, making a small little movement. And some of you might be making bigger movements. As long as you're not moving the upper part of your torso. One more. Point back, circle forward. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to the back for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to your center. Here's your butterfly. Take a breath and roll over to the other side. Right here. Just breathe. Now, when you stretch out this top leg again, we're just going to come all the way up in a little transition. Kind of looks a little bit like Janushirasana. Keep your chest towards your right knee, and then slide your left hand down your left leg. Bring your right arm up and over and have a nice little side stretch. You can capture your toe. In yoga, we sometimes bring the arm down all the way. Go where it's working for you and you're feeling a stretch. We're going to come back over and do a full body stretch. So hand comes down, heel pushes down, lift your hips up and stretch over in the opposite direction. Now come back and see if you can try that side stretch again. I like head to knee. Stretch. And this time as you come up, you'll sit kind of like a mermaid. So bend your left leg. And I just want you to lean back and kind of play with your hip. So push your hip forward and back. Feels pretty good. Now, if you are able, bring your shin down to the floor. So as you separate your foot, you're going to come up and you're stretching your quad again. And you can lift up. It's almost like that tabletop we did at the beginning. Open up your chest. And then exhale. Bring it all the way back together. And open back up into your butterfly. And to the other side. Same thing. We're going to stretch out your top right leg this time. And as you transition up, draw the sole of the foot in. Doesn't have to touch. wherever this works for you. We're doing some nice little stretching. This is just kind of a activate yourself in the middle of the day. So you feel good, like you can make it through the rest of the day. You don't have to have coffee. Lift up and big stretch. Of course, I still will have some coffee. Come all the way back. And again, stretching over, maybe grabbing your toe, your foot. You know, if you have a little towel, you could always hold on to it. Come back. Here's that little mermaid. And one side is definitely going to feel tighter than the other. And I'm going to push my hip forward and back, and I'm stretching. These hip flexors get really tight just every time you take a step up. And so we want to constantly stretch them. And so if you can bring your shin down and your foot, you're stretching again. Open up the front of the body. Stretch your quad. And then slowly release all the way back down. Bring the knees together. And back here to your butterfly. Big breath in. Exhale, draw your knees together. We're just going to swivel around on your mat. Nice long spine here. And as you exhale, we've all been doing this for the last couple months, tuck your chin, roll your spine down very slow, bone by bone, until you're all the way down onto the ground. We're going to tuck the knees into the chest and just take a little rock. A double leg stretch is first a chest lift. So lift your head and shoulders up so the tips of your shoulder blades are what's touching the floor. Arms and legs are going to hover like a big V. And as you exhale, you sweep your arms around to the outside of the ankles, pull the forehead in. Inhale, do that again. Exhale, sweep it around. Keep your head and chest lifted. Inhale and exhale. One more time. This is a little tricky. I want you to keep your legs out and just bring your fingertips behind your head. Take a deep breath in. Try not to let your low back come off the floor. If it's coming off the floor, stay here. Or lift them up a little bit higher. And then exhale, hug your knees in. Oh, nice little rock. Arms T-shaped, drop your knees to the right. Just let them hover. Come all the way up. Drop them to the left. Let them hover. Come back to your center. Lift your head and shoulders up again. Extend your left leg out. Hold on to your right shin. We're going to switch sides and switch. It's kind of like you're doing a little bicycle right here. Little bicycle. One more time. Hold the right shin in. Here's your tabletop with your shin. And your left leg is hovering. Take your arms and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug the shins back in. Give yourself a little hug. Extend the left leg out to hover. Keep the left shin parallel to the ground. And pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug them both in. Oh, yes. Feet to the mat. Arms by your side. Pelvic tilt. Push down. Tilt your sitting bones up and roll up into a bridge pose. Right here. Pressing down with your feet and your arms. And as you slowly unroll, bone by bone, let your arms float up and come over your head. Reaching the fingertips back behind you. And then as you exhale, push down again, lift your hips as your arms come up. Now this is opposite if you come to my yoga classes, what we do in yoga. So this is a little bit different because we need the support of the arms. And then come all the way back. I want you to think of articulating that spine, bone by bone. So exhale, push down with the belly, lift the hips. Really push hard with the feet and the arms. You don't have to lift all that high and force yourself up. Just keep a straight line from the shoulders through the hips to the knees. And reach your arms overhead. This time you're going to stretch out your legs on the mat. We're going to do one full roll up. And if that doesn't appeal to you at all, you can hug your knees in and roll up to seated like a ball.
But if you're coming with me, take your arms up. As you exhale out of your mouth, go shh, tuck your chin and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Come forward and then inhale, restack your spine. Exhale, roll down, bone by bone. Pull the belly button in, squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the glutes, roll down, bone by bone, low back, mid back, upper back, arms over your head. Very good, you guys. One more time. Exhale, tuck your chin. Roll your spine. It's like the letter C. And then we restack. Slide your hands back by your hips. Reverse the plank. Lift it up. Push your hips up to the sky. Big breath in. Exhale. Sit up nice and straight and tall. Take your arms out to the side. Exhale, twist to one side. It doesn't matter. Inhale to the center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale back to the center. Lower your arms. Cross your ankles. You guys are awesome. That time always goes so fast because I try to fit so much into such a short period of time. So yes, I'll be teaching yoga on Mondays and Wednesdays at the Caldwell YMCA from 9 to 10. It's an hour class. And Pilates on Fridays from 9 to 10. Eventually more classes, eventually expanding. So you just have to be patient. Some are moving in and out. So if you have any questions or concerns, you can leave them in the chat box for me or comment on Facebook if you're live on Facebook. Check out the YMCA's website. They have lots of links to lots of different helps. So I thank you all for joining me today. Have a great day.